So we've had an opportunity to consider about how we can organize the data for team analysis, potentially in our collaborative planning time established in our collaborative structures and processes. However, there's some additional considerations that we want to make when we're organizing that data set to support the collaborative team meeting conversation. Now, I've experienced schools that have done this in two separate data sheets, knowing one is for analysis by the team, looking at overall trends and topic areas, and then the other being able to indicate which students we want to bring to the collaborative team meeting, or this can be part of the same sheet and it just gets organized differently for the purpose of the collaborative team meeting. For instance, rather than organizing it potentially class by class, we want to bring together cohorts so that we have a larger group and are able to see those students that are needing additional supports, perhaps from other classrooms. The other thing that we want to do is, rather than organizing it by student, now we want to organize by score, either going from lowest to highest or highest to lowest on the overall score. We again still want to have that color code criteria, but now it's incredibly important that it's organized by an overall score related to a focus area. So we go all the way back up to the start of what's your focus. If you've said reading is the focus, and we've got our reading screen, and then we've organized it on that data to show here's the reading data overall from lowest to highest. Here's the mathematics data, lowest to highest. If we're having a well-being conversation, we're going to sort the sheet according to that. Now, this is where the color coding becomes so critically important, because we want the majority of our conversation in the collaborative team meeting to be focused on the students who are close. If we use a very traditional color scale of red, yellow, green, of students who are not yet meeting expectations, approaching, and meeting, we want the majority of our focus to be on those in the approaching area, the yellow, the ones who will most likely see the greatest gains from subtle shifts in our classroom practice in tier 2. That is the scope of our conversation in the collaborative team meeting. Now, the irony of this is that by employing a number of the strategies and practices intended for those students who are close, it will have a residual effect on all students, including those that are most at risk. It also allows us in the collaborative team meeting to say, that student's not yet approaching. The data indicates they're red in that particular area. It's probably an indication that requires a more in-depth conversation in one of our more intensive layers of collaboration. Again, organizing that data helps us to now utilize a data-informed pre-meeting organizer, where instead of saying, come ready with a student of concern and a student that you wish to challenge, now I want to coordinate it to the colors. Come ready with a student who the data indicates is yellow. Come ready with a student who is indicated as green or blue, who we want to challenge or enrich. It allows that data to inform who is surfacing in that collaborative team meeting specifically. We also then want in the data to indicate what's one key issue or need that we're seeing as we took a look through the more extensive data. Again, we don't want to identify 15 areas to look at for this particular learner. We want what's one key issue that then we can go and tag others and then have a conversation about, so what could we do in the classroom to attend to that? So how we organize the data for the collaborative team meeting matters, because we utilize it to surface students who are close. There's further conversation about this in the planning organizer, as well as in the description in this YouTube video of a welcome keynote that Lorna and I did last year that talks about this idea of how we use data to focus on, take the attention off our most at-risk students. There's also an example of that pre-meeting organizer template that's data-informed for us to be able to take a look at. All right, go forward and think about how can we organize that data to allow us to use the data to surface who we want to be able to target in our collaborative team meetings.